I do not know the name of my grandmother's mother, but I know she died alone in the institution where they put her for the seizures that began after, while tending a horse in its stall, she was kicked just here in the side of her head. I imagine her in a room with wide windows to let in hazy gray overcast sun through moth-eaten curtains of lace that stink with the musk smell of dust, drifting among other women with crooked heads and quivering limbs. And I know that her fisherman husband, after locking her away with his coarse, briny hands, traded water for whiskey and wine. He'd come across the ocean, left cold Sweden behind to be on this western shore with this woman, these children, this family, forgotten. And while her man funneled dollars into bottles and her children's home was forsaken, I imagine her sitting in that pale ivory room with still stagnant air, the color of dusted silver, the silence a little song of murmured whispers between lips that speak only to each other. I imagine her sitting in a chair which was carved out of wood, staring at hands which once belonged to her, laying in her lap, long-fingered and strong from pulling on reins, nailing shoes, picking hooves, polishing saddles, calloused but smooth, now decaying to withered gray skin, hanging on bird-frail bones like leaves clinging on barbed wire. And I know that somewhere in the city there were two little girls and a boy forgetting a mother who'd simply gone away, while they made home away from a father whose lips were too busy with the rims of glasses filled with amber and ice to remember to speak gently to children underfoot. I imagine her sitting in her old carved rocking chair, heels against the cold tile floor, rocking with her head slightly bent, imagining the mewling sound of her youngest daughter's voice, asking where her mother had gone, hoping that she asked it all. I imagine her watching her fingers while the years slipped through them, unable to grasp while she waits for her husband to stow the bottle, for her children to remember her where they left her. A long time she spent waiting to hear the sound of her little daughter's voice, no longer mewling, a woman's now, finding her beneath the skyless windows where she waited, watching the years slither past, saying, "Dead, Mom. I thought you were dead. No one told me otherwise."